What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing all right. And by the title of today's video, you can see that we're going to be talking about why I think a 370Z NISMO is not an ideal daily driver. Now, for some background, for those of you that are new to the channel, I've had this car for a little over 2 years now, but this car wasn't always my daily. So I had another car. It was a 2001 Mitsubishi Eclipse, which I used as my daily driver for about like a year and a half while still owning this car. So eventually the Eclipse started dying down, which is it's dead right now. I'm planning on selling it soon, sadly. But yeah, so this car has been my daily now for about, I want to say 6 months, since I don't have the access to the Eclipse anymore. So in that time, I've had to drive this car a lot more, every day, pretty much to work, to the gym, everywhere I go. So I've put a lot more miles on it in the past 6 months than in the previous years. Now, when you're using this car as your main mode of transportation every single day, a lot of the little things that are wrong with this car start to bug you a little more, just because you're exposed to it every single day compared to when you're driving it every week or so. And we're going to be talking about some of those things here. Now, the first one I want to talk about that I'm sure a lot of you guys saw coming is going to be storage. Now, this is a two-door sports car, so storage shouldn't really be a main priority when having this car, but when you're dailying it, it is something to consider. And obviously it's a two-seater, so obviously you only have 2 seats, and inside there's practically no storage. You know, like you have just this extra seat, you have a glove box, you have these little cubbies, and the trunk, which the trunk is, it's all right, it's not terrible, but it is pretty shallow. So as you see here, there's only like this much space. It's fine for some groceries here and there, but anything more than that, you're really not going to be able to carry in here. Now, to be honest, the storage isn't even that big of a deal for me because I don't do much. I don't have to carry a lot of stuff around. But for some of you, you guys may need a lot of storage, and this car would not be able to handle that. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is going to be the seats in this car. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the Recaro seats that this car comes with. I think they look amazing. They feel great when you're like carving through corners. You feel nice and snug inside of these. But to be honest, on long drives, these get pretty uncomfortable. Even as short as like 45 minutes to an hour drive, your lower back will start to hurt a bit. So if you have a long commute to work or somewhere else, it's going to be quite annoying every single day. Another thing to note is that you basically cannot recline these seats whatsoever, since you're going to be hitting the little cubbies back here, the backrest. So the seat will always have to be in this upright position, so you never really get to relax or anything. Now, if the seats weren't already uncomfortable enough, you also got to worry about the stiff suspension that this car comes with. Since this is the NISMO trim, it comes with NISMO tuned suspension, meaning it's a lot more stiff and rigid compared to the base model 370Zs. And that can make for a pretty uncomfortable ride, especially combined with the Recaro seats. You basically feel every little bump on the road. On the highway, you're always up and down, bouncing on every little thing. Now, this is pretty easy to fix, though. You just have to get aftermarket coilovers and tune them to how stiff you want them to be. But if you're like me, you're still stock, you are gonna be stuck with the stiff suspension. And it's not too bad, but like I said, when you're daily driving it, it starts to bug you a little bit every single day. This next one is something that I don't really have an issue with too much anymore, just because I've gotten used to it. But for those of you that are looking to get this car and you're going to daily drive it right away, you're going to notice that this is probably going to be an issue for some of you, and that is going to be the blind spots in this car. So when you're in the first person right here, point of view, main thing you're going to first notice is the sides. You have side windows right here. You can barely literally see it. There's tiny little windows, so when you're trying to switch lanes or something and you're trying to look to the left, you really can't notice anyone, especially on the right side. Like, look at that point of view right here. That little window that's right there is pretty much going to be completely blocked by the seat. So you really have to do a good job of adjusting your mirrors. And I even bought these little blind spot mirrors to help me out in the beginning. And they really do help out. And learning how to adjust your mirrors properly is really beneficial as well. You pretty much want them all the way pushed out to where you can only see the left side. You don't have to see your car at all in the mirror. A lot of people do that, and it's really not necessary. So you want to point them out as far as you can so you can see what's on the left side of you. But yeah, I've gotten used to it, especially with the blind spot mirrors. They help out a lot. Another thing is that the mirrors themselves are almost a blind spot of their own, because you just have this coconut-sized object right here that's blocking a section of your vision right here. And this is mostly prevalent when you're in like small tight parking spots or parking lots, and you're going slow around little corners. Sometimes you won't see something that's right there, like it could be a bicyclist or person walking. Sometimes they do actually block him. Now I know this next one's gonna be a little controversial for some of you guys, but this is just my personal opinion. And yeah, one of the little things that bother me about driving this car every day is the fact that it is a 6-speed manual. And I know some of you guys are gonna get mad about that, but you know, driving manual every day, it can be a little tedious sometimes, especially in like stop and go traffic. It is absolute worst. You know, just having to deal with all the little mechanisms of pushing a foot in, shifting gears and all that. I just can't help finding myself sometimes wishing that I had an automatic just so I can sit back, relax, and chill, you know. A lot of you might not even agree with me, and you totally love driving manual everywhere you go, and that's totally fine, you know. Keep doing it. This is just my personal preference, and if you enjoy driving manual, then, you know, keep doing it. You do you. The final thing I want to mention is that this car can have a pretty loud cabin sometimes, especially if you have a loud aftermarket exhaust like a Tome. You're going to have a lot of noise and a lot of drone, especially when you're going on the highway like past 3K RPMs. It can get pretty loud. Even with my car, it's a stock Nismo exhaust with the muffler delete. There is a lot of drone on the highway. Not a lot, but it's noticeable, and it can get to you sometimes. But if you have music on, it's not going to be a problem. But just something to mention. And as well as this car, especially the manual transmissions, they have transmission chatter, which is a little odd. When I first started hearing it, I was worried. I looked it up. I went online and see if other people are having the same issue, and apparently it's really common. It's just how the car is. When you're shifting gears and you're slowly engaging the clutch, you're gonna hear some chatter in the transmission. Like it sounds like it's about to stall or something, but it's completely normal. It's not a big problem. It's just something to notice. I was worried when I started hearing it, but it's no biggie. Well guys, that's pretty much gonna do it for today's video. These are just some of the little things to consider if you plan on buying this car and planning to daily it. Overall, this isn't a terrible car to daily. You know, anybody can still daily this car. There are a lot of great things about it. Like the gas mileage is really great on this car. I get like 22-23 miles per gallon, which is pretty good for a sports car. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and comment down below if I missed something, or if you don't agree with something, let me know. And subscribe as well if you haven't, and if you're new to the channel. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.